How was your day? Do you have anything to show for today? Do you have anything you can physically point to and show people, this is what I did? "30 minutes into this, 30 seconds into this, and 0 online." Here's some beanies and some scarves Amanda has finished up. If you're interested, we can discuss these. Big O, what's up? Kilo Bravo, what's up? Chuck Peoples, what's going on? Crayons, how are you? John, are you living down here? Are you living here now, or are you still living somewhere else? Jerry Byron, Ventola, what's up? Woodman, Don, how are you? Brad, Terry, what's up? Kerber, what's up, man? Ortiz, Pete, Empty, Sam Carroll, Monterosa, what's up? Empty, what's going on, buddy? I think there are still 2 of these available, I think. Those are multicam Arid AKM4s. I think there are still 2 right-hand rigs available. I have lefts, and I have several other options for left-hand rigs. French, what's up? Shocks1, what's up? Molina. Farrell Merce, what's up? Iron Rider. Matt Collins. Not yet. Still in Michigan. Right on. Jose, what's up? Planning the garden. Right on. Man, we had snow like crazy last night. This morning, the snow on the gravel was all melted. There's still snow sitting in the shade. It is back in the 20s right now. It was not supposed to be. It was not supposed to go below 30 tonight, but we're down in the 20s again tonight. Didn't change anything. Didn't make us do anything different other than we've moved back. I moved back to water bowls instead of water bottles for the animals. Working, setting up my work area all day. Get back to family. What are you doing, Empty? What are you making? Thank you for the belt issue I had a long while ago. Awesome dog collar. Right on, man. Right on. Heard Iran just bombed the U.S. consulate. So, maybe. The real question is, who are you hearing that from, right? So, you're also hearing that Russia has proof. Russia has seized weapons labs and U.S. has proof of U.S. releasing bat-borne viruses, right? U.S. working on viruses in Ukraine. But what you're seeing is a Russian, and I'm not saying this isn't correct. What you're seeing is the Russians saying this, and you're seeing it shared through China's head media mouthpiece. So, is it real? Who fucking knows? The worst part is, right? The worst part is that our government has done so much fucked up stuff to us that we don't believe them. You have, and I would say it is the majority. If you polled the majority of just random people on the street, if you polled 1,000 people in each major city and said, do you believe the government lies to you? And do you believe that some conspiracy theories are real? All of them would say yes. All random people would say, yeah, the government, because we know the government did this, we know the government did that. The worst part of all this, and they're trying to ban them, right? Even your free speech platforms, like DuckDuckGo came out and said, we will never censor. And now they're censoring what they perceive to be Russian disinformation. Who do you believe? Who do you believe? We all believe that our government is corrupt. We all believe that the United States is being collapsed from the inside. And it's about one world governance. You can't have one world governance and have the United States stand on itself, on its own. What people, the disconnect that people have a problem with, they cannot fathom or put into their head that your world leaders, especially your United States leaders, they don't care. It's not continuity of people, it's continuity of government, and they are government, and they perceive themselves to be above you. You are a fool. You are a useless eater. And whether you vote for them or not, they already know who's going to be in charge. They don't care. It is about fucking super, super wealthy people making even more money, and they don't care. If you die because of it, it is better off for them if you die because of it. Jack Masovic posted. So I also just saw Ian Smith Fitness posted something. I don't know where it originated that said it's the U.S. consulate that they're saying is being bombed, right, by Iran. They also said that the bombs and the damage is closer to the Russian consulate in Iraq than the United States consulate. I've not fleshed this out. Don't know which is true. Also, I don't give a shit. I don't care. It does not affect my day. I can't change it. I'm not going to go out and spend money on some shit that I wasn't going to spend money on tomorrow because of some shit that happened someplace I've never been. We shouldn't fucking be there. I'm going to continue to do things that make things better for myself, my family, and my employees. The Constitution is the only thing stopping it, but it's not. It's not stopping it, guys. It's not. 8 inches of snow. We got, I don't know how many we got. 2, 3 maybe? John, you don't take a night off. So today I slept in, shot some video on the property, took care of the animals, came in here, and for the last probably 5 hours, I've been sitting right there sewing. Now, in between that, I'll get up and go to the kitchen or do whatever. Then I went upstairs here at about 7:30-ish and walked, did the treadmill at 3 miles, but I also ran on the treadmill 4.5 miles. An hour, not 4.5 miles total, right? And then I came down here and worked out. And my goal tonight was to use every single machine here, and I did. Ryan Ray, what's up? Looking at drones. Think I should get the 2S. What are your thoughts? Charlie Wood. The 2S is what I currently fly, and I have Mavic Pro, Mavic 2 Pro. I have Mavic 2 Zooms. I have several of those each. I currently fly the 2S. At first, I didn't like it. I love it now. I've crashed it several times, and it has not broken the drone. You crash a Zoom or a Pro a single time, it's like they've made the plastic better. The drone is cool because in sport mode you can turn off banking, but it will bank, so it will actually turn as you turn. It doesn't just pivot. It actually banks, which is neat. What will make the drone way better than anything you could possibly use is a smart controller, and your smart controller is $800. When you buy the drone, buy the Fly More kit. You're not going to use the controller out of it, but you'll have it. The controller has no picture on it. You have to tether it to a phone to have a photo, to have video of where you're going or what the drone is seeing. They're doing that more and more because you're not supposed to fly out of your vision. But I want to know what my drone is seeing. And the smart controller will do that. When you tether the drone to your phone, you get 1 or 2 flights out of it before it eats the phone battery up. It also overpowers and overheats your phone, and it's very limited. You have the size of your phone, and the phone does not adjust bright enough if you have the sun out. So with the smart controller, it's much brighter. The picture is twice as big as my phone, and I have one of the biggest phones on the market. The monitor's twice as big, and I get 6 flights, if not more, out of the smart controller from one charge. Now, the Fly More kit is going to get you 3 batteries. I don't know how much you fly. There are times when I go out and I eat up all 3 batteries. You get about 30 minutes per battery. Because a lot of times I'll put the drone up and just video us doing things from the air so we have a different perspective. LW of Jax, it's always been the same. The CIA and others have always influenced the media. The CIA runs the media. The CIA literally has an office in Hollywood. The CIA coined the term conspiracy theory to have a negative terminology to group people that were speaking against them. There's no more rules. It's their way being made up to fit their needs. Yes, they don't care what you guys think. They don't care. And if you speak loud enough, they will send people to kill you. Operation Mockingbird. Yeah, absolutely Operation Mockingbird. Who's the Russian dude? Bezanov. Rory Bezanov? Who's the dude that left the KGB or left Russia and came to the United States? Who's that man? Listen to him talk. He spelled this out. Listen to Jordan Peterson talk in the last 10 years that told you exactly how they were going to do what they're doing right now. They said this was going to happen. David Icke. Crazy, right? Crazy. Except what he said came true. David Icke. Listen to David Icke. U.S. consulate in Iran struck by missiles. Is there video of it? Because there's also current press out right now that said it actually struck closer to Russia consulate than U.S. consulate. Is it real? Maybe. Maybe it is. What's happening in Israel right now? Three yards of soil delivered today for the new garden beds and ordered 2 solar fans for the great, man. Great, man. You have pictures of that up? I'd like to see your greenhouse. That's awesome. Coos, where are you? What state are you in? I follow some dude in Kentucky that's got a fab shop that I thought maybe was you, but I seem to feel like you're in California maybe. John, I'm your age. When I was a kid, I basically trusted the government and media. Was I always wrong, or did it change? No, we were always wrong. We were always wrong because we didn't know. Why were our parents, at least my parents and most of my friends' parents, when you would get in a car, it was talk shows and politics? Because we weren't old enough to care, we weren't old enough to understand, or we was just consumed with things that kids are consumed with. I don't know the answer to that. But it's always been bullshit. We just have access to things right now, like the phone in our hands, where a lot of people can say a lot of things very quickly, whereas in the past, the only thing we saw was what was on TV. And it was all owned by the same companies. If you look at all the media, all the press, Fox News, CNN, all of your big mainstream media, it's all owned. When you really trace it down, it's owned by two companies that are families in Saudi Arabia. California, right on, so you're in California. Atlas Shrugged. Yeah, Atlas Shrugged's a great book. For guys that don't read, you can get it on audiobooks. There's also, it's been made into a Hollywood movie. There are 3 episodes, and you can watch them on YouTube. Got my seedlings ready to go today. All the soil, rooting pods, and fertilizer. 2 more raised beds, another 1,000. Right on, man. Conspiracy theories are a way to dismiss facts by devaluing them, by categorizing them with ghosts and Bigfoot. Yes, sir. That's well put. I assume you copy-pasted that from somewhere? Report said our consulate was abandoned. See, there's a triple threat for solar flare and storm. Direct hot 12 on Monday. I've seen some of that. I saw somebody talking about, had an interview with a dude that has a page, or Marfugel had a dude on. And all they do is watch solar storms and talk about the possibilities and events of solar storms. So, can you change it? Is this when our cyber attack's going to happen coincidentally with that? Don had said that. He goes, is this a cover for something else? Maybe. Maybe. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Go run out and buy some extra milk tonight for the refrigerator that's going to go out tomorrow? Like, what are you going to do about it? Conspiracy theories turn corner by the FBI Warren Commission to dismiss and discredit alternative theories. John, this fall, I would like to see you guys do a live stream while you're canning and go through the process. Jeremy, I'm sure that we will. We'll do some videos on it. I have a lot of video footage. I'm just terrible about categorizing and making videos on one specific thing. If I really wanted to make money on YouTube, I would make single videos, 10-minute videos about why this barbell is so great, right? And in there, I would talk about the difference between a 1-inch and a 1 1/4 inch bar. I would talk about the difference between a fixed set of dumbbells and a adjustable set of dumbbells. I would talk about the difference between an easy curl bar and a fixed straight bar. I just don't ever make those videos. I just kind of make videos of my day, and we put them together into the compilation of what you see as the on the compound videos. And I put up a lot of videos, and guys don't comment on my videos. Like it takes me it costs me thousands of dollars to do those videos, and everything I do, like a 5-minute process, if I was gonna come out here and do a set of dumbbell curls with these fixed bars, like I could do the entire workout in 15 minutes. It takes me an hour if I video it. Like, I don't get any return on it. People don't like the videos. People don't share the videos. I don't make any money. I'm shadow banned on YouTube, so probably 60% of my stuff, they don't even monetize, and there's no reason for it not to be monetized, but they don't monetize it. So I don't have a financial return on that. Like, it is literally to the point where if you really pushed me on what I do every day, I do social media, and there's not a conversion return on it. Like, we sell everything we make, but people are fucking lazy. Like right now, there's 88 people on here, but there's only 69 likes on here. This is a perfect example. I make more money by just working and doing things that I want to do and not carrying a camera around. But we try to do it, but there's no return on it. People are just lazy. What do you think about the U.S. Embassy attack in Iraq? Mo, I can't fucking do anything about it. I don't give. What do you want to do? You want to go bomb Iran? Iran has nuclear missiles. Do you want to bomb Iran? Who is Iran aligned with? I would assume Russia, probably, because our enemy is your enemy, kind of shit. Their enemy is our enemy, our ally, kind of shit. I don't know. Truth, I don't fucking care. I have shit that I can do. I have shit that I can affect. I have shit that I can change. I can sit here and pour my energy this weekend into things that will make my family better, thus making my employees better. I can do things today that will affect the outcome of business on Monday, but I can't do shit about the U.S. Embassy. I don't know anybody at the U.S. Embassy. I don't know anybody that knows anybody at the U.S. Embassy. I heard the U.S. Embassy was empty. I heard that the rocket struck closer to the Russian embassy than the U.S. Embassy. But the truth is, you don't know the truth, nor do I. And it's all distraction. It is fucking all distraction. Why do you even know that? Why do we even know it? What were you watching that you know the U.S. Embassy was bombed? I can tell you what I was doing. I was scrolling through Facebook, watching videos about Spanish goats and how to get the best stock of Spanish goats. Because Spanish goats, you don't have to vaccinate them, and they'll almost 100% forage feed. They're literally as close to wild animals as you can get. But meat, pound for pound, you make more money on meat goats than you do meat cows, because you don't have inputs. And on goats, you make more money on Spanish goats because you don't have to take care of them. I was watching that, and videos kept popping up about Ukraine. And then anytime I would get a notification to somebody sending me something on YouTube, on Instagram or Facebook, you get stuck. You don't even realize you did it. You sit there, when you go to the bathroom, you sit on the toilet, you look at a notification, you start scrolling through, and you see people talking about the bombing. You know what I didn't see? I didn't see people I knew talking about what they fucking did today. I didn't see people I knew posting, hey, I fucking just ran 3 miles. I didn't see people posting, hey, Even though it's Saturday and most people out partying and drinking or at the movies, I just put in a fucking hour-long workout in the weight room. I didn't see people posting tangible stuff that they've created. I didn't see people posting things that they have made to sell to make their family better. I didn't see people posting videos of themselves out working on food production. But I did see people I know posting about shit they can't do anything about. Have I answered your, what, better yet, whoever asked that. And this isn't like jumping on your shit. Better yet, what do you think I think? That's the real question. What is happening? What do you think that I think? Just wanted your opinion. Right. So now I've asked you, let me put it back on you. What do you think I think about it? What thread do I use? Jody, the only fucking thread I've ever fucking used is 69E. You motherfuckers asking about thread and crying about thread. I assume you're building some stuff like me, and maybe you're not. I don't know. You'll see all kinds of fucking people telling you to use fucking bigger thread or smaller thread. I have done this shit for 35 fucking years. I use 69E. They now call it 70. I use nylon, not polyester. Maybe there's something way fucking cooler and way better, but I've built all my shit and we never fucking warranty it with 69 thread. There's a couple companies started up after me. They used a bigger thread, and the reason they used a bigger thread was so they could say they used a bigger thread than SOE. That literally is what they said. 98 or whatever. Good wheel bearings, Sun's Dodge, right on, Ron. I hit the range to break in my new carry gun, awesome. The stuff is splitting up families, crazy world. My in-laws hate me, and I love it. Cash. The good news is we left. We left. I left California to come here where there were like-minded people, and the best part about here is we don't have any codes or zoning. Now, you might have a dude that lives a quarter mile up the road in a shack, and it looks like a fucking dump in his front yard. The good news, I don't get to say anything about his shit, which means he doesn't get to say anything about my shit. Just trying to elevate our thought process. My thought process is don't fucking waste time on shit you can't do anything about. That's my thought process. The difference between people that do whatever they want and people that can't do whatever they want is literally how they spend their time. That's what, in the rawest form, it comes down to what we do with our time. Because no matter who is watching my videos, nor whose videos I watch, we all have 24 hours in the day. So what did you do with it, and what do you have to show for it? Went into work 9 on Thursday, got back out here there at 3. Right on, man. Right on. It sucked. It sucked. Do you have money for it, right? Do you have a chunk of money for doing that? Went into work 9, filled up 6 new water containers for emergency water today, as well as 6 more VP fills. So Scott Whitner, what kind of water cans are we talking about? Obviously I know what the VP fuel cans you're talking about are, right here. What'd you use for water cans? And there's not a right or wrong answer, man. I'm not judging you. Like, you might have some shit I don't know about. $1 million home next to a single wide trailer all over Camden. Love it. Crayons, that's for real. And you'll see these little fucking cunts moving in here, and they are fucking plentiful. Plentiful little cunts. John, you should get on the Hip Camden, Tennessee Facebook group. It's mostly beggars and complainers and pissing and moaning and very little value added. Every now and then there is, though. You can kind of see the gold through the stream of shit by posts that they make, right? One that jumped out today was, where can I buy kerosene locally? Where can I buy kerosene in Camden, as a matter of fact, is what I think they said. And the answer is you can't buy fucking kerosene in Camden. There's nowhere that has it. I made a video about it a couple weeks ago. I don't think it's published yet, though it's been assembled. It's authored. And I went to everywhere that had kerosene in Camden. The Shell station here used to have it. There's still a tank there for it, but they've been closed down for about 4 months because there's a major gas leak under their property, and they can't afford to fucking jackhammer it up and fix it and refit the building, or whoever owns it is just tired of fucking dealing with shitty people, most likely, and said, fuck it. So they don't exist any longer. There's another place in town across from the flea market, which now has a chicken restaurant on it, and they don't have any because I drove on the property a couple weeks ago, and their fucking pump's not even there anymore for kerosene. Yet everybody in the group, all these people are telling these people to go to these two places. One of them's fucking been out of business for damn near over 4 months, and the other one doesn't even have a pump because I was physically there. But here's the bigger thing. Here's the bigger thing. They're asking about kerosene 4 hours ago. Why? Because it's fucking 20 degrees outside. It was also 20 degrees outside the night before. It's fucking freezing out here. There's snow everywhere, and there's ice all over the ground again. And here's my dog. Look, see if you can see her. She's out there laying in the snow. That dog has fucking hay bales and straw and dog loos and dog beds, and those dogs choose to live out in the snow. But my point to that is, I've been saying every fucking day this week, we have 20 degree weather coming. What did we do? We moved our plant starts. We switched our rabbit waterers over to water bowls yesterday. We drained all our hoses and turned all our water lines off and emptied them out. Like, we took care of shit. People don't. And that's 90% of your fucking population. If you want to see what the world really is, go to Walmart. Go to Walmart when motherfuckers should be at work during business hours, and look who's at Walmart. It's footy pajamas, it's costumes, it's fucking retards. It's a fucking gaggle of retards at Walmart. That's who you're going to have to interact with, or more likely, you're going to have to eliminate them when society collapses. And my suspicion is everybody knows who those people are, and will probably take care of that shit when the rules and the laws change, meaning that there is none without rule of law. Because if you don't, they will come back. But who uses kerosene? Who uses kerosene? Fucking poor people use kerosene. Because you can go buy kerosene by the gallon, and and not always, right? Maybe the people we're talking about right now, maybe their $65,000 of heat and air sets, maybe their heat and air unit went out last night, right? Or maybe their propane heaters, maybe they ran out of propane. Maybe something happened, right? Maybe something cut the propane line, but that's probably not the case. More likely is we're talking about poor people, and these are the same people you see pull up at the gas station. These are the same people you see pull up at a gas station and put $5 of gas in, but buy $10 in cigarettes. Or $10 in fucking hot dogs and $5 in fuel. It's the same thing. Kerosene, I buy kerosene. I haven't fucking burned kerosene in 10 years. 10 years is the last time I burned kerosene. People here do that because they won't spend the money to pay the natural gas deposit with the natural gas company. You have to pay a deposit. And they won't pay it because they're too busy living week to week. And that's my point. It's just that's who's there. Yeah, Great Pyrenees and a Kangal. I have 2 Great Pyrenees. I have a Kangal. I have a second Kangal coming. If you know who my breeder is, you probably follow him. He's in North Carolina. The 2 dogs that they just bred, I have a deposit on a puppy. I put a $2,000 deposit down on that dog months ago, before they even mated the dogs. They just mated the dogs on Monday, again on Tuesday, and again on Wednesday. There's video on his Facebook of that. Very, very high quality animals. You just described half of Columbus, Ohio. Unfortunately, man, we can't just put our thumb on the map and we can't just point to a place and say it's this place. It truly is 95% of the population, unless you live in a big fucking city. If you live in a big city, you know where the nice neighborhoods are, where the soccer moms and the false sense of securities are. And you know that you can drive to the other side of the tracks or 10 minutes away or an hour. We know where the dirt places are too, right? The poor neighborhoods, right? And some of that's by design, and a lot of us don't even realize that, right? They took places in the city and literally removed the off-ramps to them. You can't go there. Like, they took away the bus stops. Like, they made islands within these areas and thus made these places low-income areas. Matt Christopher, what's up? No gas, but buy 1 ounce of weed. Yeah, and I don't care if they smoke. Like, I don't give a shit how they spend their money. But those are all the ones begging for shit. They're always the ones asking for, I need a free couch. Does anybody have or reasonable price? That's the other one I love. Reasonable priced. If somebody's telling me they're reasonable priced for a service I need, I skip right over those motherfuckers. I'm looking for the dude that says he's the best and expects that price. Exterminating the Walmart shoppers earns you a like, my good sir. I'm not talking about just Walmart shoppers. I'm talking about non-producers. I don't care if you non-produce until you show up and expect me to help you. I don't care what anybody does with their life until it becomes an issue in my life. I'll buy gas and food once these scratch off. John, man, that's the biggest thing, right? Legal fucking stealing from people is the lottery. It's illegal for you and I, John, if you came here and we set up a card table and we had 5, 6 friends here, sat around, drank some beers, and had some fucking cash on the table playing blackjack or whatever kind of cards, we broke a law. But every state can fucking run a lottery. Those will be the ones coming for a handout when things go south. Chuck, those will be the ones coming and trying to steal shit. We put gates up on the property, multiple gates. Like, even if you got through the first gate, there are more gates to get through. And then the dogs, right? My dogs will bite the fuck out of people. Like, I tell people even I know, I'm like, hey, if some stuff happens and you need to get a hold of me, don't try to jump the fences. Like, my dogs, even if my dogs see you, they will fucking bite the shit out of you, even if they know you. That's on purpose. That's why we have so many fences. If you come in here and get bit by one of my animals, you put forth a lot of effort to do so. But before we had the gates, there were people every day that would come on the property and drive around the back of the property and just come and see what was here. They're coming back to steal shit. There are many times in the middle of fucking business, because we have cameras. Like, there's several places where you sit in the building and you notice movement out of the corner of your eye on cameras. So Amanda's like, hey, somebody just drove around back. Or, hey, did you hear that truck? Or, hey, and, Cody will be like, hey. Like, we have notifications where our phones fucking notify us of movement on cameras. So I'll go out back and I'm like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, I was looking for the entrance to the building. And you just thought it would be around back? You just thought you'd bring your fucking truck on the property here that has literally 3 visible different sizes of tires and no exhaust, and you just thought that you had some business here where you would go to what you perceive the backside of the property. Like, those are the people that will be coming and looking for you to fucking help them or to steal from you or to kill you and take yours. And if you think anything different than that, chances are You are hoarding, hoarding's not the word, right? You're not hoarding anything. You bought stuff with your money. That's not hoarding. You are collecting shit that somebody will kill you and then use. My pit bull will lick you to death, but the chihuahua will attack like a lion. The small dogs make a lot of noise. The small dogs I won't fault you having small animal. Five-finger mostly peaceful. Climbed 3 fences to get a chunk taken out of Fido. And I mean, you could come in here. Dogs can be fucking disabled, no problem. Dogs can be distracted. You could absolutely come in here and shoot my dogs. You could probably come in and feed them and distract them. You could definitely feed them and tranquilize them. You could feed them and poise. There's a lot of ways around dogs. Dogs are a deterrent for the lower 50% of criminal element, which is mostly what you're going to encounter. The opportunistic people. Didn't you say an older fella blasted through your gate one time? James, they did. So that's the old gate system. We have a much more robust system. So we just had an old pole. I still have it. It's sitting out front on the ground. We had an old pole that crossed the driveway, and it pivoted from one side and came up to this T-bar on the other side, and we put a chain around it. And the pole sat at about my waist height, so it's probably, I don't know what that is, 30 inches off the ground. And the pole was probably 1.5 inches thick. A car hit it so hard that it came up his hood and it came up his hood, hit his windshield and his A-pillars, and skidded across his roof line. The pole smashed his car headline down 6 inches. He's lucky it didn't kill him. Busted out every piece of glass in the car. It was a 4-door like Toyota Corolla or Nissan or Hyundai or something. Little 4-door sedan. And it broke out the front windshield, the rear windshield, and all 4 doors. It was a 4-door car. Smashed the car down literally 6 inches. Like we put it in a car smasher and just busted it down 6 inches. It didn't break, didn't bend my gate. My gate obviously had some spring to it, that pole, that rod that comes across. Totaled his car out. And he had said he just paid his car off and dropped full coverage like 2 weeks earlier. And then another guy came in here, same deal, with a Suburban, a brand new Suburban, like a new body style Suburban, hit that pole. It came up, busted in his radiator, bent up over his hood, hit his A-pillars, set off his airbags, blew out his front windshield and the 2 passenger door windows, and it hit those passenger doors and busted those open right at the A-pillars there. Totaled out his fucking brand new Suburban with just a fucking shitty ass hillbilly gate. The gate that was on this property probably the last 40 years. The gate we have now is like 3-inch square pipe tubing. It's 1/2-inch wall thickness metal. It's buried 5 feet into the ground in a block of concrete that was poured in place. And then it swivels on that. And then it locks to a gate that's the same post on the other side that's the same manner. It's not gonna bend and it's not gonna come up over your line. Like you might be able to get through it with a loaded gravel truck at full speed, but a loaded gravel truck wouldn't have enough run to make that 90-degree turn and get any kind of speed. I really don't think it would get through there. You could push through it with a dozer, but it would keep most normal vehicles, like a car and like a truck. No truck I have is going to push through that. Have you ever worn Loa shoes? Yeah, I didn't care for them. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't, because you should go to REI and try on every fucking possible shoe you can. Just because I don't like them, I know a ton of dudes like Nikes. I have never put a Nike pair of shoes on that I thought was comfortable. Never have I. And I've tried over the years. I wonder if Mr. Prakash is watching. I don't know who that is. They shouldn't have been hauling ass onto the property. I think he was getting a blowjob. It was a preacher, little white preacher guy. Said he was preaching over in New Johnsonville. All the churches over there are very small. And he was from Jackson. And he had to drive. It was snowing that night. A friend of mine from Tennessee Highway Patrol called me, said, hey, there's a vehicle in your property. I said, how the fuck did he get in there? He said, we don't know. When I got here, it was 32 degrees. There was snow on the ground. I don't think they alcohol checked him. They were very cool. He was okay. There was not any damage done to the property. And he drove home, and that's an hour drive with no windows in 32-degree weather. Can you imagine the sound of the sidecar when they impact? Yeah, fucking nuts, huh? Most of us on the stream know people who say, I'm coming to your house if crisis strikes. I'm like, no, you're not. You have time to prepare and brushed off advice for years. And Iron Daddy, especially if that's like family, friends and family, right? Because they've told you this over the years and you're like, you're not coming here. They didn't help you develop the property. They didn't help you buy the property. And they definitely didn't help you stockpile the property. But when you look at their social media, they buy toys, they buy new things, they own a home, they go on vacations. I don't go on vacations. I do this instead. I don't go on vacations. I have built my life exactly how I want my life to be. And none of those people have fucking showed up here and fucking picked up a shovel. A lot of dudes have, but it's never the guys that say, I'm coming to your place. There are people that have a place here that will be welcomed here. And when things do happen, I do reach out to people and said, hey, maybe you should think about fucking stopping what you're doing and just coming here right now in case this is real. There are people. It's never people that say, I'm coming to your place. Yeah, my dogs need food. That's just it exactly, right? When society collapses, people are hungry and times get hard, you better worry about the dude that has a lot of fucking big dogs. You better worry about what he's feeding those fucking dogs. Yeah, nothing's impenetrable. Absolutely, nothing is. It's a false sense of security. If you think you're going to have property and hold property, you better have fucking patrols. You better have security. You need multiple people. You need concrete barriers. You need pipes in the ground where you can add railing to. Like, you want to put up a barrier fence so that it'll keep most vehicles out of your property? Put up guardrails. You can buy them. They're not even that expensive. Put up guardrails, just like you see on the highway, and fucking guardrail around your property. You want to keep people out? You put up triple strand wire. You can buy it. You can buy the exact concertina wire that the government uses. It's not even expensive when you compare it to normal fencing. It's very doable. You just need a few people that are willing to do what needs to be done when the time comes to be done. It's very cold out here. Cable, yeah, cable, absolutely. Cable's good. Yep. We went and looked at there's a trailer place off 641. And we just kind of drove back there to look at the trailers over the fence one day when they were closed. We were coming back into town. And I noticed the entire property at it's probably about, I don't know, 20, maybe 30 inches tall, maybe 24. And that's what they've built their fence out of. They've got these pipes that are probably jackhammered into the ground. They have an attachment for a skid steer that'll set posts. But they've got metal pipes driven into the ground. And then they have these fucking freeway like rails, like you see alongside bridges and shit. That's what they fucking encased. They encompass the whole property. I thought that was fucking genius. I'd never seen anybody do it. And then when I started looking into it, it's actually, it's cost-wise, it's much more secure than a chain link fence and costs less than chain link fence. Chain link fence is very, very expensive. And it is a very, very false sense of security. It's to keep animals in and to keep fucking honest people honest, really. That's all it's for. Do you ever have a plan to protect electrical devices in case of possible EMP? Joshua, I have Faraday bags, and I have some things in Faraday bags. I also have EMP Shield. We have not installed them yet. EMP Shield gave me an affiliate code. You haven't heard me really talk about it other than on live feed when people have asked. I don't have the links up public facing yet, but if you buy EMP Shield, I believe you get a little discount by using my code, and I get a little piece of your order. But I have EMP Shield devices right here. They sent me for my vehicle and my trucks, or my vehicle and my building, and I am going to order several more. This is a vehicle EMP Shield. They also have a smaller, less costly one that will work for your side-by-sides and ATVs. Now, my question is, like a two-stroke motorcycle, because in a lot of the survival fiction books, two-stroke motorcycles still run. So will two-stroke bikes still run after an EMP? Like, I was thinking about getting rid of my two-stroke bikes. I have several of them. I have bikes that are literally brand fucking new that have less than 10 hours on them. I never use them. I was thinking about selling them, especially while all the prices are so elevated. But then I read that several times and I thought, maybe that'd be worth keeping. Kept heads on spikes. I think that if society collapsed like that, I didn't ever get to that point. That's where I was going. If society collapsed like that, people know who the shitbags are. When they show up and the rules and there's no repercussions for killing the trash, I think those people will die very quickly. And I think that their bodies will be displayed as if you come in here, we will do this to you. I think you'll see people hung from the light posts. I think you will see criminals displayed in Court Square dead. I think you'll see people put in locks and stocks. I think you'll see people put in cages that are suspended. Because if you did that, the crime would stop. If you really lived by just the 10 Commandments, right? You have somebody steal something, maybe you don't kill those people. Maybe you fucking put them in fucking stocks at Court Square and they have to sit there for fucking 48 hours. And if you want them kept alive, their family members have to come and feed them while they're locked up and give them water. But people coming through, you'll just shame them and you will throw fucking rotten fruit and tomatoes and shit at them, right? Just like in medieval times. There's something to that. If there was a repercussion, right? Think about it. All these people shoplifting right now, blatantly. If the storekeeper could shoot them dead, if they had a possibility of being fucking shot dead at the doorway as they leave the building, don't you think, I'll bet you everybody would stop shoplifting. That shit would end. And the stuff that they're stealing, it's never life essential items they're stealing. Anarchy's not a bad word. They've just co-opted it to mean something evil. What brand was the EMP Shield? It's literally EMP Shield. That's the name of the company. Check them out. Fucking seem to be great guys. They said they watch all of my content. They seem to know a lot about my stuff. That's not why I'm saying they're great guys. I have watched probably 100 hours of their videos before we ever had a conversation. They're actually sponsoring our Self-Reliance Festival in June. They are coming on as a sponsor. Anybody coming to that event, they will be here with product to buy. I'm sure they'll have product to sell. But the guys, the head of the company will be here. Half the zombies in the city will kill each other for nights, and they will. They will. Do they have EFI? My two-strokes, they do not. They do not. My brand new four-wheeler does, and I sure love the EFI. It starts right up. It starts right up. You don't ever have to run the choke or anything. It is very convenient. Capacitor and the ignition would get fried. The Romans kept heads. Chain link holds trash from blowing around. Bull pipe, Texas fence. And nast-ass bulls will flow them down the edge of the property. You're right, I got 160 acres. Son is moving back from Colorado. Things fixing to get crazy. Cash, I'm glad to hear that your son is coming back. Will he be on the property or near there? Because that's what it's going to take. You're going to need people. And I think that as people, I think you're going to have your choice of people when the time comes. Because a lot of people, they are not in a secure location. The people living in apartments and stuff who have just chose to, live that lifestyle so that they can have other luxuries. That's why we're building these buildings out. That's why we're putting these tiny houses in place. They're storage sheds right now, but we can throw bunk beds into them in a matter of hours. We can have 16 people in one of those buildings. Sleeping quarters, not living quarters, sleeping quarters. If you build those buildings out and you have one that's a sleeping room and you have one that's a living dining room and then you have bathrooms separate, you can build them out, put them in a U shape and put a big patio with a fire pit or hot tub. They can be very comfortable, but when the time comes and is needed, then you can put bodies in there should you need to. Army kicked him out after 11 years for not taking the shot. Well, at least you know where he stands. That says a lot about him, man. They also trained him. That'll be beneficial to you. AOC says bread. I love bread. I do. Not grocery store bread. I love a warm out of the oven bread, an artisan bread. I love beer bread too. Very simple to make. And the beauty of bread is it comes from wheat. And you can make bread with wheat and salt. You can make bread with literally wheat and some yeast and some salt. If you don't want to fuck with that though, you just take your wheat, grind it into flour. And that's the beauty of bread, is that you can store it as wheat, and wheat will store literally forever. Flour will not store forever. So if you store it in the form of wheat, grind it into flour, and then make bread. But if you have beer and flour, you can make beer bread, and you can add whatever you want to that. It can be cheese, shit. You could add chicken into it. You could add anything, make a meal out of it. Amanda makes one with dried apples, and the best apples seem to be are dehydrated apples. We had apples, cinnamon, cherries, or cranberries. The craisins, the dried cranberries. A little tiny bit of vanilla extract, and I think there's a couple other spices in there. Holy shit, it is a wonderful, dessert bread. It is so, and she bakes a loaf that's just Pale Moon honey wheat beer, and one that's like the dessert one I described. Bakes them at the same time. We could actually fit 4 in the oven and do them 4 at a time, and that's on one shelf, so we could probably put 8 in there at one time. Acorns. I've not tried acorns. Salt rising bread toast. Yeah, and look up flatbread. I mean, look up flatbread, look up pemmican. There's a lot of things. Look up pea. I think it's pea sausage. Make sourdough with homemade starter. No commercial yeast. Absolutely, you can harvest yeast out of the air. I remember watching what was the cooking channel guy on KPBS? I can't remember as a kid. I remember him talking about some of the sourdoughs coming out of the San Francisco area. And to make a starter, they would literally bang it against their sweaty chest and get some of the fucking sweat in it. And they would throw it against the wall. And the walls were kind of dripping and had moss on them down in the basements. And that's how they would harvest. That's how they would start their sourdough starter. Some of the best breads came from something that sounds so nasty. You can also do sourdoughs from, you can harvest the yeast out of the air still and use, fruit for starters and stuff. Olives and cheese, yeah. Bread is the bomb. I haven't had bread I couldn't even tell you the last time I had bread. I'm the guy who emailed about the pals webbing horizontal smoke. Right on, man. Right on. What color did you order? Sucks that the government does everything it can to stop natural selection. Myth. Myth custom. Think about this. Let me say this. I assume you have a job and you work, and you probably wish you had more of your own money, and you probably have some side business, right? You work a normal job, and then you take a lot of your money to do the thing that you love doing, and you try to figure out how to make the thing you love doing also pay you. You're probably not on a government-assisted system. The people we keep alive, most of them, the people we allow to do shitty things to other people with no repercussions, they vote for those people. They're on the systems. They don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. They care more when you're not on one of the teams. As long as you're on the team, either team, you're fighting with the other team, and it's diversion. What if it really was, all the division and diversion was just a distraction to keep you from being as good as you can be? Because then you wouldn't need them. You wouldn't play their game. Most business owners know how to make money and not give them part of their money. Whereas the useless eaters, that's what they call them, us, that's what they call us. Whereas the people on the systems, they give them money. All the money they give them is also taxed. When you go to spend money, they get a good portion of the money every time you spend money. It goes back into their pockets. And they need you to continue their game because they have graft, right? A good example is Kentucky. They said they're giving $85 billion to Kentucky for the tornadoes. As soon as they cut that check, $50 billion of that comes right back to Washington, D.C. They divide it amongst themselves. They help people because they steal over half the money. And then government in Kentucky will take $10 billion right out of that for their new pet project. They're going to build a ball team or ball field or a fucking stadium or some bullshit. The people that really need the money, they don't get the money. Oh, you voted for Trump? Yeah, sorry. Oh, you don't have the vaccination? Yeah, you can't have federal funding money. FEMA was up there, and FEMA's not supposed to be able to do this. It's supposed to be local ordinance that comes through and condemns. FEMA went through and told a lot of these people, hey, we'll give you $2,000 for your property. Hey, we'll give you $4,000 for your property. Because most of these people have no insurance. So what happens to all that property? The government, local government, typically takes it back. If you had people come in and help you and assist you in cleaning up your property and start rebuilding, FEMA came in and said you can't do that. Because FEMA is supposed to compensate you for that, but FEMA doesn't have money to compensate you. FEMA brings in migrant labor. Look into this. Team Rubicon, you guys all hear how fucking awesome Team Rubicon is? You see all the Team Rubicon shit on the packaging and how they hire all these prior service members? Team Rubicon pays illegal immigrants to come in and do the work, reimbursed by FEMA. FEMA gives Team Rubicon a shit ton of money. You might as well think of Team Rubicon as part of FEMA. Have you ever heard this before? Look this shit up. Have you ever heard this before? Why are they letting all these illegals across the border? Where are they going? They use them as fucking labor. There was a ton of them running around up in Kentucky. Look into this. Don't take anything I tell you as correct. Just let it plant a seed and you do the research on your own. Paul Revere, what's up? PBS chef was Jeff Smith. He was sued by his assistant for sexual harassment. I don't care. I don't care if he was sued. Did he do it? I'm surprised I haven't been sued for sexual harassment in the last 35 years. The world has changed. I got multicam on the smoke pouch. Good. Okay, so you got a horizontal smoke pouch in multicam. I have none. That's what I'm looking at. You should not have been able to order one. We will build some soon, or send me an email and say, hey, I ordered multicam. You don't have it. I'll take Coyote. Replace the Western man. Yep. Many different agendas at play. It's all Agenda 21, which has now become Agenda 35. We used to make fun of Alex Jones and Rosa Curry and all those people, Rosa Corey, about all the Agenda 21 shit, right? Oh, they're crazy, right? Because we were told they were crazy until it all happened. Every fucking piece of it's happened. Southern Arizona, see the border problems every day. I bet you do, buddy. You don't miss a piece of Texas toast. I never ate Texas toast. I never even heard of Texas toast till I moved here, and they made things with Texas toast. I feel like Texas toast would make an excellent French toast. Got multicam smoke pouch. My thought was to use it as a smaller general purpose pouch if possible. We'll see how that works right on. I think Snap just got $500 million in the recent spending bill. What's Snap? Is that like a food program thing? Welfare or something? $10,000 to fuel up 2 semis. That's only run this last. That's fucking crazy. Playing around making jerky and always it's up and always fuck it up. Do you do any jerky? So we do. Barger. We do. We use round eye steak, I think. Use whatever you want. And we use a mix. The mix I use comes from Walmart. It's a shitty jerky Walmart mix. I do it on this dehydrator right here. So typically you take your mix, your powder, and you sprinkle it all over the meat, leave it in a bowl for 24 hours. I thought I was going to walk over here and show. I saw it the other day. It's probably, you guys have probably even seen it on video here. It's probably right in front of me. There's a box of it somewhere. But we sprinkle it on, cut the meat up. I usually cut the meat a little thick. I want more of a chewy, moist beef jerky, so my beef jerky doesn't last but a week or so before it starts molding. The more you dry it, the less you're going to have a mold problem, but the drier and tougher the meat's going to be. But we do it, and Amanda makes it. It comes out amazing. This is all freeze-dried cheese right here. That's cheese, sir. We can. This is our Excalibur dehydrator. If you haven't used one of these air fryer things, holy fuck, this thing works great. We have a chamber vacuum sealer, probably the most used piece of equipment that we have, and we have a big freeze dryer also. Look at the group trying to cash in on Hugh Hefner. I've not heard of that. Texas toast lets you soak up more eggs. Really good French toast. Especially if you let it dry out. Like when you do French toast, you're supposed to use the driest, oldest bread because it will absorb more of the egg and vanilla. Jaeger said you made a GoPro holding thing for his trip video. Brian, it's on Facebook. I did 2 live feeds, Thursday or Friday maybe, while I made it. You can see me make it. It's on there. It's on Facebook. Supplement Assisted Nutrition Program. So SNAP is Supplement Nutrition Assisted Program. So the food pyramid, right? Why is the food pyramid set the way it is? Because they use food for the slaves. It's gruel, right? All the old medieval movies, they always, the peasants or the people in jail, they got fed gruel, right? What is gruel? It's oatmeal. It's look at where Kellogg's cereal came from, right? The Kellogg's family, the 2 Kellogg's brothers, they were nuts, right? They literally started as an asylum, and they wanted a cheaper way to feed the asylum. Look at the Kellogg's family. Absolutely insane shit happened, and they were castrating kids and punishing kids for masturbating. Super fucking crazy, but gruel. And that's why they do it, right? Because you can't take steaks and set them in a ship holding tank or put them in a silo. But you can sit on corn. If your fans are running, you can sit on corn for a very long time. You can sit on grains. And that's why the fucking food pyramid is the way it is, because it's very inexpensive to feed a lot of people. SNAP is the food strap. Ours is called EBT, I think, here. Got my Highlander micro rig this week. Badass. Right on, Jonathan. Glad you like it. I currently have multicam Arid. I don't think we've ever made these. We actually had to make a item to put them on the site. They didn't exist. And we made some of them, finished up Friday. I think there are still a couple of right hands available. For left hand, I have several options, including these. But for right handers, I have, I think, 2 of these left, or at least when I started the video. Abel beer leftovers and rotted bread. I might take the coyote instead. I'll reply back to the order. Right on, man. We can get that done up. We can get that done. You guys are killing me with the bread. Myth. Listen, buddy. I've been eating. I don't know if Amanda would agree with this, but I think I am telling you I've been eating very clean. I have not had alcohol in probably going on 3 weeks right now. I'm really making a conscious effort. My testosterone levels are ninja quick. My testosterone levels are good right now. I have a free testosterone right now of, I think, 65, I think it was. Maybe it was 50. And my doc said that would translate to 1650 on your test levels. A lot of people give you these crazy numbers and shit, and they don't understand the important numbers free test. If my free test right now at 50 is 65 on my free test, I am fucking wasting time and money and everything in my life if I am not physically working out right now. And I'm not working out hard. Cereal. Okay, so there she is. I ate cereal today. I wanted a breakfast food. I did not want to take the time to make English muffins. Waffles or pancakes are my favorite. English muffins are right up there, right? That's a quick fix. And I'll eat 3 eggs with English muffins, and then put syrup and butter and honey on it, right? So my test is high. I'm not working out much harder. The only thing I have really changed is no alcohol. No alcohol. And I don't, like when I make our margarita, I use a sugar-free mix. The only thing I have changed is lack of alcohol. And I'm not like, I don't drink during the day. I drink 1 time a day, and that's when I get in bed. When I go upstairs, computer in my lap, and I drink a margarita, and it's got anywhere from 2 to 3 fingers of tequila in it. And then I use a sugar-free mix, and I use a ton of salt. I don't use like any pre-made mix. I don't use a margarita mix. I use a sugar-free lemon lime soda from Walmart. 0 calorie. The only thing I've done is take away alcohol. And that's it. That's the only change I've made. So I get the bread thing, man. I get it. Hot sausage eggs. Yeah, I like that. Her potato chips in Pennsylvania uses burnt, not good enough chips to feed cattle. I do miss alcohol, not going to lie. Anyone know what Putin's comment about the world seeing something beautiful on Friday evening was about? I didn't see anything happen. I don't know, but there's a bunch of shit coming out with a Russian dude, and he's saying that they have got control of some of the U.S. biolabs in Ukraine, and they have evidence showing that the U.S. was doing bat coronavirus testing. What they are alluding to is that it is the U.S. that released this virus. Special Ops, hi buddy. Peter North here, old adult film star, working on new movie, and you helped me tremendously. Thanks, Peter North. 3 eggs with ham, bacon, 1 toast, multigrain bread, all cooked in real butter. Eating that almost every day for 6 months. Lowered my triglycerides by 100 points. Right on, man. I'm 52, got my TRT, trying to get completely off sugar. Sugar, it will be the biggest thing. Stop sugar, but more importantly than sugar, stop wheat. Stop wheat. The wheat will cause cravings for sugar. Do you have any issues with estrogen? Robert, so I was taking HCG, injectable HCG, and the FDA clamped down. So I can still get HCG, but I have to buy it. And guess who has the contract to make HCG? Pfizer. So I have to buy Pfizer HCG. I can no longer get it from a compounded pharmacy, which made it in-house. So it went from $100, I think it was like $100 a month, to $600 a month. So I'm using Nolvadex or Clomid. I can't remember if I'm using Nolvadex right now or Clomid. That's the anti-estrogen. Apples will boost your T. Not as much as an injection, not as much as an injection in my thigh or my shoulder or my tricep of your T. Nothing fucking raises your testosterone like testosterone. My diet's pretty good. And I eat, and with the apple thing said, I eat an apple every day. I love, for a snack, when I want to go and eat ice cream or bullshit, I eat an apple and a piece of this smoked string cheese that Dawn sent me with some artisan salami and pepperoni, and I'll usually have some pretzel chips on there with it. And I know somebody's like, you just told me not to eat wheat. I know, I agree. John has no estrogen as of his last labs. Russia is saying there is ties to U.S. funded labs, illegal labs tried to cause world sickness, which everyone probably believes. Brian Fraser, does it sound unfathomable, right? Do we question it? When Russia says that versus Jin Paskey, who's more believable? The crazy thing is our United States government spent the last 2 years doing such heinous, insidious shit to people. Do we even question that they would do that? Free test 19, total 576 on test SIP. How is that? My doctor doesn't want it higher. Guntmarin, are you seeing a family practitioner? Does he know your history? My free test right now is 50, which translates to about 1650, and I'm 50 years old, bro. The real question is, why does your doctor not want you? What's your age? What's your weight? But why? And they can't tell you why. Well, it's bad for the prostate. Well, it causes high cholesterol. Testosterone is fucking cholesterol. Most doctors don't know that. And you could probably do business with my doctor. We send a card out for every order that goes out here. I don't know how see that big fucking scratch? I don't know how I got that. I'm guessing a rabbit got me. We send a business card out with every order. Our government is so corrupt. We need foreign help to remove it. I agree. Any side effects TRT like anxiety? I don't know. Fuck, I don't know, man. I take chemicals to wake up. I take chemicals to go to sleep. Take chemicals to talk faster. I take chemicals to flex harder. I take chemicals to have a pump. I take chemicals so my dick works better. I take chemicals so that the chemicals I take go in faster. Do I fucking have anxiety? I don't know, man. I don't know. Used under 600 milligrams DL and you are symptomatic for all kinds of shit. Use under 600 milligrams. What are we talking about, James? The biggest problem with testosterone is if you use less testosterone, it usually causes more problems. The same time I started getting my pellets, my boy Justin went to a doctor locally in Nashville, and they gave him testosterone, and we were both using testosterone. Justin literally felt like he just needed to cry. He felt like he needed to cry. His fucking tits were getting sore. He looked terrible. His dose was too low. When he talked to my doctor said, go back and tell them these things. And they raised his dosage. I think they doubled his dosage, and he went from literally like becoming a girl to becoming a man. Like if your test is too low, you have way more negative symptoms from adding low testosterone than adding too much testosterone. My doc asked me if I would get the jabs. I said no, don't ever. Oh, are we talking about the injections? My doc said it's possible to get bad side effects from using testosterone. What? what are my bad side effects? Like what is that? They tell you that, but they can't show you. Does your doctor look like a motherfucker you want to look like? But it really comes down to time for a new doctor. And you should stop, if you don't like the doctor, the answers, you need to talk to a hormone replacement therapy guy. And you can talk to my guy. Like you can video chat with him, depending what state you're in. I want to say in California, he can literally telemed with you. In certain states, he has to have a physical face-to-face meeting with you, and that meeting could happen. He will be here. That meeting could happen here in June if you come to my event. If you're in a state that he can't telemed with you, he can legally telemed with you after he has a consultation with you here. And if you're coming here, you can also go to his office, which is 1 hour from here. Only thing I get is acne on my shoulders. So take your shirt off, go outside, exposed to sunlight. Get 15 minutes of sunlight. You can also do it in a tanning bed. You can also get a thing where you can clean yourself a little better and take an extra shower a day and just, you know, exfoliate and clean your skin. It's because of more oils. I've been digging into the war between the Straits and the lots of shit there. Wow, we've been getting shafted. You are. There is nothing that any government is doing that's to your benefit. How much does TRT run me? Amanda, can you answer that question? I don't know the answer to it. Had the same issues as your buddy. My test went up and I felt great, but then my estrogen shot up a few weeks later and it was a nightmare. So, Nolvadex. Clomid, there's several ways your doctor can take care of that. In addition to the thumbs up, we all should be adding the bell notifications to make sure we get notified. It makes a big difference on my live feeds. It makes a huge difference. The crazy shit is, right, I'm on YouTube right here. I'm on YouTube. There's 106 people watching right now, 126 thumbs up. We're on YouTube. We've been talking for 76 minutes right now, and it's 10:45 at night. And I say percent power left, guys. I say that to make this point. There's 106 people watching me at 10:45 Saturday night. So obviously it's important to you what I say. This is on YouTube. I put videos up on YouTube every week, and you guys don't even fucking give me a thumbs up on the video. I put videos up every week, and you guys don't even leave a comment. But it's important enough you feel you get something from me that you're on here right now, Saturday night. But you literally can't take a minute and just leave fucking several words on my YouTube videos. The anti-estrogen pills made my nipples and bones hurt. I gave up. Robert Thomas, you're a fucking mess. You need another doctor. You need a doctor that will literally do blood work, look at your labs, and explain to you what they mean. It is not the anti-estrogen that made your shit hurt. TRT is life-changing. It is life-changing. It is absolutely. Mine costs $350 a month. I don't think mine costs $350 a month. You got to get your test estrogen levels balanced and stable, and then it will clear. And if you add working out, physical movement, physical exertion, it'll change all those numbers. It'll make it work better. My doctor is Optimize You. Optimize You is my doctor. He has clinics. I want to say there's 20 clinics right now. They're about to open one in Nashville. Same as menopause for men. Every man over 35 should be on it. Brian, I have a lot of people show up here, and they're like, how do you have this much energy? And we're talking about people that are like 20, 25, 30 years old. How do you have this much energy? And I'm like, have you had your blood work done? We have dudes come in here, get their blood work done, and their test. We had a dude come in here, I don't remember who he was. We had a dude come in here, and his test level was 17. We have dudes come in here, and their test levels are like 200. And these are dudes that should be in their prime right now. My wife's testosterone level. You know, women have testosterone also. If your woman's sex drive's down and she don't want to fuck, a lot of times her testosterone levels are off. Women take testosterone also, low levels of it. My wife's testosterone is higher than some of these dudes that come in here and work here. TRT here is cheap. My insurance covers blood work and anti-estrogen. That's awesome, dude. TRT completely changed my life. Yes. Hey man, has Jaeger made it to across the pond? Frank the Tank, why aren't you asking Jaeger? If you just looked at some of his videos, you would know. And maybe you know something I don't. My understanding is James wasn't flying out to Tuesday. Now, maybe that's not public-facing information, and maybe I'm not supposed to be saying that. So my understanding is they're leaving, they're taking off on Tuesday. Ended up straight test, high injections, twice a week, no issues with estrogen, emotion, or whatnot. Iridium, yeah, I'm using a new, well, it's not new, it's new to me. I'm using a test cypionate, test propionate blend, and I'm injecting every other day. And I went back from sub-Q. See, I have fat. I went back from, although this makes it look worse than it is. I went from injection belly fat back to intramuscular. I'm about to get off of here. I got some shit I want to get done here. So real quick, now that we've had this testosterone conversation, this is the doctor I use. This is the clinic that I use. If you want to speak to somebody on the phone, call this phone number. If you want to send an email, call this one. My pharmacy is blending with grapeseed oil instead of cottonseed to see if the great, man. Great, myth. That's awesome. That means you're using a compounded pharmacy. That's fucking great. Try exposing your skin to sunlight. That also, exposing your skin to sunlight will raise your testosterone level. Everybody wants to tell you all this. If you eat this or you take horny goat weed or there's all kinds of fucking stuff in these test boosters. Nothing raises your testosterone like testosterone. Sunlight will help your body. Yeah, if you clean your diet up, it'll help too. Remove sugar, remove wheat, it'll help. You guys should look into something called earthing also, earthing. You know, doctors used to teach this, right, to doctors. Apprentice doctors would learn things. And then the whole medical industry was changed by the Vanderbilts, who are also the pharmaceutical companies. And they changed. When they fucking made everybody, it all became college, right? You had to go through this curriculum. Every doctor had to go through the same curriculum. They removed anything that was free that worked. Earthing is just literally grounding. It is connecting with the earth. Your body is a magnetic entity. It is an electric entity. In the rawest form, you are electricity. And grounding is walking barefoot on the ground. You have to be connected to the earth. It is literally earthing, grounding. You hear a lot of people with all kinds of diseases, and the diseases reside, if not completely go away. And they're not doing any crazy invasive medical procedures or invasive medicines or chemical drips or IV drugs, right? They literally sunlight, change of diet, and earthing. Walking barefoot for 15 minutes on the earth. Type that in. If you've never heard of earthing or grounding, just type it in and just watch a couple random videos and see, just if it's something you've never heard of, look into it. Sunlight does raise vitamin D. taking vitamin D also raises vitamin D. You guys should all be taking a good vitamin D3 in an olive oil. Vitamin D3. It's not expensive, and it's not a fucking vitamin. It is a hormone. If you want to know more about vitamin D3, you should look up somebody named Rhonda Kirkpatrick. She's been on Rogan's show dozens of times. Check out Rhonda Kirkpatrick. Probably why little kids are, it very well might be, man. There's probably something to that, right? As well as accumulation of trash in our bodies over the years. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Everybody have a great night. Does the olive oil help the uptake? James, I don't know if the olive oil helps the uptake as much as the other oils block or go rancid quicker. I don't know the answer to that. Amanda might know the answer. I sleep between sheets with silver thread that are connected to the ground. That's fucking great. That's great. I've never heard of silver thread. I've only heard of copper mesh. As well as there is a black paint you can paint in your room that will block RF frequency. And then you also need to remove all Wi-Fi signal from your room, all Bluetooth signal, and preferably every trace or bit of light as well. Looking to get a plate carrier. Do you have any suggestions? Mr. Sharp, the plate carrier doesn't matter as much as the plates. Buy a plate carrier that will do what you want to do and be honest with what that is. And then make sure it'll hold the plates you want to hold. John Witherspoon, man, thanks for being here, dude. Kirkpatrick promotes sprouts and no coffee. I hadn't heard the no coffee thing, but definitely broccoli sprouts. Definitely broccoli sprouts, because you sprout them and then you freeze them, and by freezing them it fractures them and it releases the things out of the broccoli that she wants you to eat. Sulforaphane is actually what it is, if you want to look into that.